We all have stress and anxiety and we find it difficult to focus. While there are apps that help in doing better meditation and tricks that help you relax faster, there is one person who dared to ask the right question. What if technology could directly help your brain in 20 minutes? No meditation, no side effect. This isn't just an idea. This is science. And she had already built one neurotech company and raised 23 crores. And then she shut it down with her founders and gave every investors an exit because she could see something bigger. And what she built next was Sychedelic, India's first AI neurotech headphone that shifts your mental state. And 92% of the users reported that it worked. That is Ria Rustagi. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to the Big Story Podcast. And we'd like to thank you for bringing your time and giving your time for this podcast.
Completely my honor to actually be on Big Story. I'm super excited.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And we're really excited to have you here. And so we'll straight away dive into the questions.
Yes, please.
First question I would like to ask you is that you have decided to make a brand in a category which people barely understand about. So how do you go about it?
Okay, so yes, deep tech is very crazy, very difficult. Not everybody jumps into it. And then comes neurotech inside of it as a category, which is about how you understand your neurology, neuroscience of the body better.
Right.
It is very rare, but I think people who come with a particular story and a pain and a reason can survive in this deep tech.
Right.
My story is similar. My elder sister, Pankhuri, in 2016 was diagnosed with a brain infection, very commonly known as brain fever, also meningitis.
All right.
All she had was a headache.
Right.
For 1 year, all the doctors in Delhi NCR told her she has cervical pain.
Oh.
Nobody tested her further. After 1 year, she got diagnosed with this infection.
Right.
2 days of her getting the medicine, she gets a stroke, gets paralyzed, semi-coma condition at the age of 25. She stayed in that condition in a stroke ICU in Apollo, Delhi for 5 months before she passed away.
That's so sad.
And when you are in a stroke ICU for 5 months and you have other patients coming and going, some going because they get better, some going because it's bad news, you see a lot of life.
Right.
And you realize that at that point, whatever you are doing may be very small or maybe creating very small impact in the whole world.
Right.
I at that time was working in a German company creating microcontrollers for automatic cars.
Okay.
And what was I doing? Cars are a luxury. Automatic cars are also a luxury.
Right.
I wasn't even seeing my customer. There was no impact being creating.
Right.
Why was Ria meant to do that? That question came to my head after my sister passed away. I wasn't looking to change the world, but my boyfriend and husband now, he came to Germany to pursue masters in human-computer interface with specialization in AI.
Oh.
He got a professor who had worked on more than 20,000 hours of brain data.
Right.
And he was passionate about entrepreneurship, my boyfriend. My husband now. And he then talked to that professor about my sister's condition and he said there's a thing called as EEG, which is brain activity. See, we are smart folks, but still EEG is not known. EEG is like ECG. Right. ECG is your heart rate, EEG is your brain wave.
Yeah.
But you don't understand brain. If there was a doctor there who was monitoring her EEG, she would have got saved. Maybe.
Okay.
And that thing stuck with us.
All right.
And that's when we thought that, okay, if people are not able to understand EEG, that's an engineering problem, not a medical problem. Doctors understand it, but not everybody.
Not everybody.
Let's solve for it. And then we started creating EEG wearables, gathering a lot of data of healthy people, not healthy people, and understand the brain. We created Newfini, and Newfini was meant to understand your brain better. It could monitor your brain activity. Let's say you are a healthy individual. It will help you improve that. It will help you sleep better. It will help you be stress-free. It will help you be focused better. But let's say if you have a condition, it will help you in that early marker. Not to diagnose, because diagnosis can be done with EEG, but at a clinical level. But it will say that something is wrong, go and see a practitioner.
Okay.
There were a lot of companies who with Newfini were monitoring brain. Somebody was monitoring stroke. Somebody was monitoring epileptic seizures.
And what was the process of monitoring it? Like
just wear a headband.
Okay.
Not headphone, a headband. And there's a Bluetooth driven laptop application where people would see the EEG and people would get their markers or reports. There was also a mobile app where people would play games, play meditations, and improve their brain health overall. We entered that category, but as a deep tech founder, doing that in itself was difficult. But I always come from impact. I started this because of my sister. It's called Punk Tech after Pankhuri. And that was one of the reasons. So when I saw that while at B2B level it's getting impact, but the people who are using my product, the researchers, they are also not getting funding. It's struggling. It's difficult to build deep tech neurotech from India after the seed stage.
Got it.
But you can't build deep tech neurotech with 50 lakhs. You can't build it with 1 crore. You need decent capital to scale that. And that's why we thought that I need to make something where consumers are directly buying my product. I'm scaling the cost of the product and I'm helping them in real time rather than at just a medical late stage level. And that's where Sychedelic comes into picture.
That's actually really noble reason to actually make a product out of it. I have a few questions actually. Okay, so basically the first question that I had to ask you is the price point of the product. What's the price point of the product and like what are the variants of it?
Newfini was 50,000 rupees hardware, mobile app free, 75,000 we had a cap for researchers with 1 lakh rupee per year desktop application. Those were expensive products for consumers. For practitioners, corporates and researchers, it was decent. But there were only a few researchers working in India. And they would not take 1 year to research and conclude their work. They'll take years. Which means I am not selling it to further any researchers and everybody is waiting for grants from government to solve for this issue. So we decided that we will build Sychedelic at whatever it comes to, MRP will be 25,000. We will not make this product more expensive than that if I wanted to reach a decent level of audience in the first year.
So was there a consideration thinking that the most expensive Sony headphone that you can buy in Amazon right now in India and also maybe from Yamaha are in the price range of 21 to like 30,000 rupees. So was there a consideration that, okay, let's say if somebody's spending, then we price it in that range and make it affordable?
Yes, that was one of the categories. So in India, 25,000 is considered as premium affordable. Then comes 40,000, 70,000 mark for consumer electronics. Now 25,000 is premium affordable. But also, as you said, premium headphones, Sony, Bose, Yamaha all fall under the category. But you also have to remember that Ultra Human Ring is 30,000 rupees. Aura's ring now in India is launched at 25,000 ring. My headphone is this plus this combined plus few more features. So we thought that if I can tell a user that this is one headphone, great brand, great audio, 25,000 rupees. This is a new brand startup made from India. Decently good quality as compared to Sony, almost like let's say 9500. But this also tracks your mood, recommends you the right music to listen to, and helps you solve for your stress, sleep, focus in minutes through neuromodulation. So it's more like a 4-in-1 category here, at the same price.
Okay, so like I'm excited now. I have 2-3 more questions.
Yes, please.
So the first question I have is regarding the So you mentioned about the infrastructure and also like the ability of making a technology like this. 1 crore 50 lakhs is not going to make it. So how much is it actually required to patent it and bring it to the production in a very good rate?
So
what kind of a market do you see in India that can be produced to?
Okay, so let's talk about building a company in this space, what all it requires. So there is prototyping. The electronics part is difficult to do 100% India. You need to get components from China or Europe, which is expensive. So we call it Newfini, was built from proto to final stage in 2.5 crores.
Okay.
Where I, from my savings of 4 years in corporate and Bhavya's 1 year of savings in Gurgaon job, all of that combined together, we had put in 1 crore as founders. Then we got 45 lakh grant from BIRAC. We not grant, equity investment. Then we got 25 lakh from Startup India Seed Fund. Then we got 50 lakh from Nidhi Seed. And then we got 35 lakh from Mighty Grant. All of this combined together helped me scale Newfini, build Newfini to be able to reach customers. But when it was reaching customers, they wanted software, they wanted a lot of different things still to happen. Which then we raised angel investors, where we raised money from angel investors to build. Sychedelic, on the other hand, took roughly around 5 to 6 crores to build, where we had raised angel investor money, and this is what I'm talking about, only building the product. So it means electronics engineers, prototyping, 3D printing, mechanical design of the product, software architecture, software development and deployment. All of this was done for 1.5 years, and it costed me this much. Now you also have to understand patents. A patent in India is roughly all the different filings. You will get a person to help you write the technical description, do research, etc. Will cost you 1 lakh rupees. But then you don't want to patent the product just in India, right? India is a new market. There are not many competitors here.
You want to do it in
Europe, US. Even if I take 5 countries, firstly, there's a PCT application which allows you to do a global patent protection. Only for 30 months, that protection, first you'll go for it, that is somewhere around 2 lakh rupees. If you do it on the company, if you do it on individuals, if you do it on females, these are different pricings. But then comes the real filing. Each country is 2.5 lakh rupees. Somewhere 5-6 major countries like Germany, Australia, UK, US, it'll cost you 10-15 lakh rupees. Then you have to go for efficacy trials. Then you have to go for MD3. You have to go for different things. All in all, your compliance will be 50 lakh rupees.
My God.
And there is ISO, IEC certifications. All of this together will cost you 50 lakh just to protect the product that you're making at a bare minimum. You go further, you'll have to, and this is one patent I was telling you for 10 lakh. I put all my IP into one patent. Ideally, it should have been 10 patents. But then 10 patents, 10 lakh rupees is 1 crore right there. We'll do it, but we had to start somewhere. So this is just on getting started about the product.
I have 2 more questions. Like this question, we'll add it only if you're comfortable with it.
Yes, I'm all comfortable.
Like, may I ask you what's the component percentage from country-wise when it comes to this? Like how much is China, how much is made in India, how much have you worked on it?
So the electronics particularly are, so the electronics are also 2 folds. One fold is the drivers and the basic parts which comes from China. Then we have the main brain of the product, which is the neuro PCB, the main PCB. That is a made in India product because that is my expertise. I've been working on that PCB for 5 years, had Newfini in and out. That is component fabrication, assembly, everything done in India. So that on an electronics level, it is almost 40% China, 60% India because the main one is here. The product assembly is here, done in India, Hyderabad. And the metal and the plastic in the cushion part, this we vacuum casted because we were early in our journey. So the vacuum casting unfortunately was done from China because I couldn't find a vendor good enough to help me with this in India. I tried, and trust me, I tried. But the metal parts that I was able to get, they were just, with my hands, they were getting folded. You don't want your headphones to fold.
Exactly. Like you're spending 25,000, you want it to be top-notch quality.
Exactly. And that finishing at a 3D print level is not possible from India, unfortunately, right now. So roughly, and on an average, we are 80% India, 20% China.
Okay, so the third question that I had to ask you was, so technically when, like I have a bunch of friends who are in the startup ecosystem right now, and they say that for a hardware company and for a software company to get funded, soft banks and all of them, they easily fund the software companies, but for a hardware company, they said there's a lot of capital, there is a lot of compliances and all of it, and it's very hard to get funded. How has, like, if you have to sum it up all together, how has your journey been in that matter? And what have you said to those people, and you have got those funds? Because getting even fund from the getting seed from the government also requires some sort of convincing to be done.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, I
So-
get seed from there.
I'm all 5 years of conversations where people said, oh, why don't you do software? Can't you do out of this software? How can I read your brain activity from a software? I can't do it.
Exactly.
And no matter what you say, you can't cook your food from software, you can't water your plants from a software.
Yeah.
The water there has to be physical aspect to your life.
Right.
You can't, if I'm not building it, somebody else is building it. But you have to understand step 1 to anything is hardware.
Right.
Then comes software. You have a mobile phone. That mobile phone has Android and that has so many software applications. But somebody built that damn phone.
Right.
Somebody built that microcontroller, somebody built that laptop.
Right.
If I can build a good hardware, it opens gate for 100 software companies to play with me.
Absolutely.
Imagine for this headphone particularly, we have partnerships with different music composers, people who are creating different music to recommend their music
Can I
algorithm.
ask you, like, who are those composers?
Very, very, very nascent, very early in their career, giving me soundscapes, just free to
Right.
put it out there in this space.
Right.
And that's what we are doing. So imagine software, music, I'm not creating my own music. I don't want to do that.
Right.
But it opens games for a lot of different things.
Right.
Eventually, there can be so much that can be done here. So from your perspective, yes, it was very difficult. I remember people saying, oh, your hardware.
Yeah.
And that to mental health.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing everything an investor says not to do.
Yes.
And you still are going to do it. I said, I know. In your hospital, you need a stethoscope, which is hardware. You need your blood monitoring machine to be hardware. Glucose monitoring, hardware. All of this can't be done through a software. If you want to create impact and change, your journey can't be easy.
Right.
It has to be difficult, and it's fine. Even now, after Newfini being shut for almost 1.5 years,
Yeah.
the epilepsy researcher reaches out, do you know any other company who is creating a EEG headband which is Bluetooth driven? I said, yes, there is this company in the West. Kara, no, I need them to have this certification. Do you have it in India? I said, no, I don't know anybody. And that to Bluetooth. There's nobody who's doing it in India.
Right.
It's 1.5 years since Newfini was shut down, and now I'm thinking of licensing him my technology because he's great at creating impact.
Really.
And this is still a challenge. Hardware is difficult once you've done it. Now I'm comfortable, I can launch glasses in another 8 months. I can launch a mask in another 8 months. That is the capability of my team right now. And yes, there went a lot of convincing with investors. It was not easy. One government grant fund which I got from somebody, an institute, said don't use it on hardware. Don't use it for manufacturing. Don't use it for prototyping. Use it either for marketing or software development.
God.
Exactly. Now there is 10,000 crore deep tech fund.
Yeah.
Last year, where did it get deployed? It gets deployed. It goes in deep tech, but it goes in space tech. It goes in the fancy deep tech. It doesn't go in daily small set life creation category.
Okay. Does neurobiology come under the same thing?
Yes. Neurobiology come under deep tech.
Yeah.
But it's not cancer.
Okay.
But it's mental health.
Right.
It is mental health and well-being. It is stroke epilepsy. You go to any ICU, the one ICU that is most filled is either a cardio one or a neuro one.
Right.
Neurosurgeons are the most fanciest doctors,
Right.
the most elite, the most expensive. Why? Because it's too much, it's out there, but there's no help.
Yeah.
Epilepsy, seizures, मतलब लोगों को पता ही नहीं था epilepsy or seizures in India until very recently. People used to go मिर्गी के दौरे हैं, मतलब panic attacks हैं, मतलब fits हैं. People don't understand this.
Yeah.
And they don't consider this as, they do deep tech, but still.
Yes.
I've heard it from deep tech investors just last year. Oh, you're not deep tech enough. I want to do deep tech, but I want to do deep tech like space tech.
Okay, I want to cut you in between. So, marketing the product would also require you to specify and give awareness about this particular thing as well. So how do you take it as a challenge?
There's a lot of education that needs to be created. With Newfini, I was a little bit naive where I used to very openly say, I will change the world of mental health. I will change how people feel and talk about mental health.
Yeah.
And see, you will buy my product, you will use it at home in a very close environment, but you will not post a photo with my product because it's like openly saying I'm working on my mental health. And I can't say names here, but there were celebrities, athletes, at premium level, everybody knows them and they were using Newfini. But there I could get a photo with them. We spent our whole 24-hour day with them on helping them use the product, training them, changing. No, they will not give you a photo. There was a 90-year-old person who was using my product 2 years flat state every day.
Yeah.
My first message would be with him every day. This is my score. How does it look? I asked, can you please give me one photo? Give me a voice note. Give me something. No. And that's when we started with Sychedelic. We unfortunately don't use that word, but we use mental well-being, we use productivity, we talk about performance.
Yeah.
In the end, everything is connected. You don't sleep well, you don't work well. You don't work well, you get anxious. You get anxious, you have fears, you have insomnia. All of those things are a repercussion. You eat bad, you get fat. But fat word is not okay.
Yeah.
From the same perspective, it's with mental health.
Yeah.
What you put into your brain as a negative aspect will harm you.
Yes.
You don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so you've been to IdeaBuzz. You've got an investor there. Okay,
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Amazing.
Amazing. How do you think has the response been after IdeaBuzz?
I'll tell you one story which has not been out there. We with IdeaBuzz, I was in Bangalore.
Okay.
And you can talk to the folks if this can go out or not. They had reached out,
Okay.
IdeaBuzz. So I was talking to TurboStart and IdeaBuzz team for a very long period of time, but I hadn't made my mind of going on it.
Okay.
I said, you will not fund me. I know how this works. I've been there and done that.
Okay.
It is not going to happen. Show me proof that this is real. Tell me who are the investors. He said, I am calling from an investment thing. I know there are real VC investors.
Right.
I said, I know all VC investors in the India. You tell me who are the folks coming.
Right.
He told me the names and that is what convinced me to go on stage because I was like, if I don't know the panel, I will not come.
Right.
Because that is how I know this is all about marketing and I don't want marketing. I don't want to spend. At that time, my daughter was only 13 months.
Yeah.
And if I go, I have to carry it and travel with her. And my husband was in China.
Right.
So it was my first trip all alone with my daughter and my nanny. And doing shows, everything, it would have been difficult.
Right.
And I said, I will only do if it's worth it and please make sure it's worth it.
Yeah.
And now, it's November my episode came.
Yeah.
We're standing at March, 5 months in. The money is in my bank. The contract has been executed.
Yeah.
The whole ecosystem has been so damn supportive.
Right.
I'm not comparing to any show because this is their plan, that is their plan.
Yeah.
But it's been more supportive than any other investor I've ever got.
Really?
It is Mudit and Jeet. I cannot tell you how amazing these folks are. It feels like I've known Mudit like for 5 years.
Wow.
That is how I feel with him. It's like something messed up was happening at work level and I was like, Mudit, can you please help me solve this? He was like, you want this? I'll get it done. That.
Wow.
And he was not even an investor for me.
Right.
That is how amazing it is. I cannot. Entrepreneurship is very shitty.
Okay.
It's very dark. It's very difficult. Deep tech is way more difficult. Deep tech, just crazy.
Crazy.
You need people to just back you.
Right.
You need people who say, I know it is bad right now,
Yeah.
but it'll get so much better. Just keep at it.
Right.
And Mudit has been that kind of a person for me.
Right.
For the past 5 months at least.
It's great. So, like,
Yes, you asked the question.
about
yes.
the response.
It has, okay, so we were doing X units a month
Okay.
for 2 months.
Okay.
And then we did X units in a week of IdeaBuzz.
Wow.
The same. So it was almost 3X to 4X that we did. One thing good was, while my top of the funnel didn't go like crazy,
Yeah.
but my bottom and middle supplement, which means the people who were watching IdeaBuzz were not watching because it was a fancy, dramatic thing. It wasn't meant for the masses. It was meant for the people who will buy my product.
Right.
So if 10 people saw my product, 4 bought my product. 40% conversion is amazing.
Ria, actually.
It's amazing. No marketing platform can get you that.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, the exposure has been great.
Yeah.
So be it sales, be it investors, I use this as my demo now. I share the episode link with my investors saying, okay, so this is what we are doing and this is how it's going to be.
So around 92% of 600 plus pilot users have mentioned that there is improvement, and the self-reported number in the website is like 600. So what has been the difference between the peer-reviewed efficiency?
Okay, so let's divert this 600 folks. Okay. So out of these 600 folks, there was some 450 folks who I gave one demo.
Okay.
For example, like right now, I'll come to you, I'll give you one demo of 20 minutes.
Right.
And that is how your experience.
Right.
For you to quantify and qualitatively analyze your experience, we'll do two things.
Right.
My headphone, the prototype one, had EEG and heart rate monitoring.
Right.
So we, through that 20-30 minutes, will see how your heart rate and your brain activity is changing.
Right.
That acts as a quantitative assessment.
Right.
To see that your heart rate actually dropped. You were at 90, you wanted to sleep, your heart rate came down to 60. Validates.
That's really nice.
Right? So that is a quantitative verification and validation of what happened with you.
Right.
Then it's qualitative.
Right.
Because sometimes the data will say it's right, but you will not feel that change. So it's very important you feel that change.
Right.
You will be drowsy, you will be yawning if you want to sleep. Or if you're productive, you will be like, oh, it's been 20 minutes, I didn't realize it.
Right.
That is what people felt. 450 folks, out of 450 folks, roughly 80 to 90% felt this. And it was not at day one. Okay. At day one, my stats were very bad. It was more like 30-70. 30% felt good, 70% felt bad. And then we realized we actually have to build a recommendation engine.
Right.
We have to build an algorithm as to what kind of audio should get stimulated.
Right.
The music should start or the TDCS, what should happen, in what order, for what duration. All of this was built in 6 months.
Right.
So the first 50 folks, only 30% felt good. It wasn't perfect from day one.
Right.
It was made almost good
Right.
at the end of 6 months. And we're still working on it.
Right.
That's point one. Second, then there were 50 folks who we gave our prototype headphones at home for 1 month.
Wow.
Those folks every week used to come to my center, my office, for a Newfini EEG monitoring, where we'll analyze their brain activities changing. And also we will go through a psychometric analysis in the beginning and the end.
Right.
So the one that psychologists give you those surveys, we'll get that one done from you.
Right.
So we'll actually see over 4 to 6 weeks, changes in your anxiety markers, changes in insomnia markers, changes in stress and fatigue. So if you are at moderate anxiety, you'll go to mild.
Right.
If you're at chronic anxiety, you'll go to moderate. All of this was happening for people who tried the product for more than 4 to 6 weeks. Then after that came pre-orders.
Right.
Pre-orders, consumers, some 100 plus folks now using the product for the past 6 months.
Wow.
And for those, now let's say out of 100, we got 5 returns.
Right.
95 users. Out of 95, we have roughly 70 people still actively using the product.
Right.
The 20 other folks might be using it just as a headphone, just for tracking. But 70 folks are using it for the neuromodulation to solve for stress and sleep. And out of those 63, 65 folks, roughly 20 folks, which means 20% are power users.
Okay.
Morning mein 7 a.m. they'll take a session.
Right.
Evening mein 9 p.m. they'll take a session. Din mein 4 p.m. they'll take another session. And these are my power users. 20% power users after 6 months, whereas a wearable sees only 20% active users after 6 months.
Okay.
This is the difference as compared to any other wearable, because it solves for you.
Right. Right.
And this is a headphone.
Right.
So you do not have to be like, oh, I am stressed, let me get it from my wardrobe.
Right.
This headphone is right there on your desk, helping you take meetings, helping you do the calls, helping you listen to music when you're jogging, running, etc. So I want to be a part of your day. I'm not a 20-minute thing. I'm not your crush. I want to be a part of your life for a longer period of time.
That should be the headline actually. It'll create enthusiasm. So, Ria ji, if you had to bifurcate like 100% of your customers, if you had to tell the audience who exactly is the main person to buy for this. Okay, we have an understanding that there is all people that who are already going through this problem. They'll require this headphone, definitely. Other than that, as a normal user who's also enthusiast about audio and also wants a remedy, who exactly do you think is the customer? What gender and what age as well?
Okay, so I'll tell you one very interesting thing.
Okay.
I don't listen to music at all.
On
and I
this.
built a headphone company. Not on this, in general.
Okay.
I'm not a music person.
Okay.
No music.
Okay.
I do not have any music app in my phone.
Right.
But still, I use Sychedelic a lot.
Okay.
Which means you do not, just because I'm building a headphone, it does not mean it will go to a person who's enthusiastic about headphones or about music. Bhavya, my co-founder, is, so he takes care of all the music conversations and everything that goes into the app. I don't take that decision. But the point being here that this is not for audiophiles. This is not for music enthusiasts. This is not for people who love headphones.
Okay.
It is for people. And it is also not for the 1%, the top 1%. And when I say 1%, it's not economic power. It is more about health status here.
Right.
So it's not, you'll think that, oh, this is about health. Health people only who go to gym care about it.
Right.
No. It's not about the people who are going every day to gym, who are very health fancy, who are very fit. No, it's not just for them. It is for hustlers.
Right.
It is for people who for their dream and vision, have compromised everything. I, as a founder, it's a Saturday, we are sitting here, we are doing this shoot. Last night, I was up at 3 a.m. because my daughter was not feeling well. I had only slept 4 hours, but still I'm here. I can't sleep in the middle of the day. I have a lot of working to do. And it is for those people who dream, who are hustling to do and solve for their dream, who will compromise everything that they have to reach that dream. Family time, social networking, sleep, food, focus. You compromise everything so that you can get that one thing. And when you compromise everything, eventually you have to pay with bad health. You will get depressed, you will get weight, all of this will happen to you. I am saying let's not reach there. I will help you sleep in 20 minutes when you decide to. I'll help you not waste your time of 2 hours shutting down your brain, watching Netflix and then sleeping 4 hours. Let's optimize for that Insta scrolling time, etc. to help you sleep. And the same with focus. Sometimes it's not in our control. I decided I'll have a Netflix binge watch yesterday because, let's just say, I was too exhausted. I was too stressed and I slept at 2 a.m. And I have to still wake up at 6 a.m. 4 hours of sleep will create brain fog. But I still have to do investor meetings. I can't fuck it up. So from that perspective, this product helps you let go of brain fog. Helps you be super focused in 15 minutes, multiple caffeine shots. That's the result it gives.
Wow.
So that you feel more in control. So that life and work can actually balance for a change.
That's truly something that people right now need and they're also looking for. We have just a few questions left.
Yes.
So the first one that I have is from the Green India category. So Green India, we have been working on environment and empowerment through that, and also in getting sustainable methods coming out. So although you're working in deep tech category, we're also working as a wearable solution also. And I feel like there's a lot of use of plastic and all of that. And this is an essential product that is supposed to be scaled down in terms of pricing in future, so that I think a lot of women, let's say teachers, let's say the people in medical or law category, they all go through a lot of busy schedule. They have a lot of headaches, and a few of them also deal with PCOS and all of that. So if we look at all of it, I think it perfectly fits them into a category. But again, India is also a place where 3,000 rupees is also a considerable price, which they consider, I would not buy your phone if it's 3,000. It's 1,200 rupees, fine. Realme le lu, yeah, Oppo le lu. So definitely scaling down and reaching out to them is definitely a thing. Getting those customers is also going to be an important thing. How are you going to do it sustainably? And how are you going to ensure that they welcome this product? Pay a little bit more, but they welcome this product. They understand it.
So we'll start with men and women factor, which you discussed about.
Yeah.
You are very right. PCOD, anxiety, we know as a stat, women have a lot of this. Even postpartum depression, right? Huge market, but this market is being talked upon very openly. But women does not invest in tech a lot, unfortunately. But yes, they will buy this product again for stress, anxiety and productivity. But men do not talk. You have to understand suicide rates, depression rates, everything are higher for men. Alcohol, they have different intakes, but this. So it's kind of trying to solve for both. This is the problem that I'm solving, but I'm solving in a form factor which men love. It has Bluetooth.
Right.
So from that perspective, both these genders are taken care of.
Right.
Particularly. Now let's talk about the pricing part.
Yeah.
Yes, eventually, hopefully, we might want to scale this. It's difficult to scale it right now. It's already one of the most affordable neurotech products in the world.
Right.
In the world.
Right.
That being said, and without compromising on the efficacy of.
Right.
Eventually, with scale, maybe I will be able to get this down in 2 to 3 years, and let's hope so for it.
Yeah.
But now taking care of the green initiatives, so this headphone is built actually in such a way that every part is can be taken off.
Okay.
So this is the TDCS electrodes.
Right.
Oh, so sorry. Let me just. So this is the TDCS electrodes. This is where the sponge is.
Right.
This sponge is not made out of silicon.
Okay.
This is reusable.
Okay.
For at least 6 months to 1 year, this is very good to use.
Right.
After that, you do not have to throw your headphone away.
Okay.
You can just replace it.
Okay.
The same thing is, I think with this, I am unable to remove it right now. But these cushions are replaceable. So you might have seen that with a lot of headphones, this gets wears off.
Yeah.
The leather comes off or something like this. But even if that happens, these are replaceable.
Okay.
We have made sure our headphone is built in such a way that eventually we can repurpose it.
Right.
That's one. These cushions are also not made out of silicon, which means it's better for the environment.
Right.
Third part is that we are actually working on gel electrodes, which means that you will not need a replacing of the electrode at all.
Yeah.
The batteries, the certifications, the repurposing, like once we come up with a new model, we will hopefully most probably have a thesis where you can return the old headphone and upgrade it at a differentiated cost. That's what we did with Newphony anyways.
Right.
Newphony was bought at 50,000. If you wanted to upgrade to the cab, all you had to do was pay the balance 25K.
Yeah.
And we can replace. So we can repurpose those electronics in the headphone to another unit.
Wow.
We always did this. We've been doing this since day one.
Yeah.
Because batteries and everything, until unless they go bad, they're still operating. So don't throw it anywhere. Just return it to us.
Right. So last question actually. So ma'am, as a student of business, and I have mad respect for you to, invest so much of your time and your energy and your knowledge into hardware tech, that in deep tech. That's something people don't really talk about or know about. Okay. There you have spent, like you got a funding of 23 crores for Newphony, and then you had to dissolve it with by giving the investors an exit. It's not an easy job.
Yeah.
And then coming back, then understanding the market better, and then making a product that is actually the most affordable product for this purpose. As a student of business, I know it's very difficult to do all of this and go through all of this. If you have to tell the audience one thing about, to go ahead as a motivation, what would you say?
So firstly, when those 23 crores came to us, out of those 23 crores, we used roughly 12 to 13 crores to give our early investors an exit.
Okay.
Because it always is important to do right to everybody.
Right.
You can't. Maybe for 1 year, maybe for 5 years, maybe even for 10 years, you'll succeed by doing wrong to folks.
Right.
1x exit to angel investors when the company is still doing good. There are so many founder stories which have become now nightmare for other founders. But I decided, I've seen my father. My father is a businessman. I've seen it comes around. It comes back.
Yeah.
And you will not know these investors who I gave exit. Then what was left into the company? After 23 crores, roughly 11 crore, 10 crore was left into the company, which for 2 years fueled Newphony, shutting down Newphony, psychedelic R&D, psychedelic manufacturing, everything.
Wow.
11 crores. And that's why I said psychedelic took roughly 5 crores to be built, scaled, everything in this form factor with our knowledge.
Right.
After that, when we were raising external round, these folks came back and invested into the company. So when you do right to folks, they come back.
Right.
I'm not selling a fancy story here, but it took time. It took a lot of effort. And I always wanted to do this. On Shark Tank, we did take Aman and Piyush's funding because we wanted to enter glass and headphone category. It never reached us. It was another story. But we knew that this could happen, and it's the best way to do this.
Right.
There's one company in the world, Neurable, 65 million funded.
Right.
Working with NASA, US government in a headphone.
Right.
And they're one of the best neurotech products I have seen.
Right.
Everybody else is trying to do clinical, but it starts at home. It has to start small.
Right.
And telling this story for every other entrepreneur is, I take people's money very seriously. I don't think so. I'm a baniya. I don't think so. I can like live by having your money and then, running away kind of a like thing. It's very important to do right. So I always tell my investors, the worst that I can do is when my company is going bad, maybe return your 1x. But I will always hope for a better multiplier. Impact is there, deep tech is there, it will take revenue, but do get the right investors. We got the right investors. They supported us in shutting down of Newfany, scaling of Sychedelic, being patient with capital. Imagine Newfany was doing 2.5 crore revenue. I shut it down. Sychedelic started its revenue 1.5 years later. We did 6 months of 3 months revenue, then 1 month pre-rev globally, and then we again stopped for 2 months. Because we wanted to go back stronger. A lot of investors don't support this. They'll say every month revenue is important, do this, do that. Please get the right investor. They can make or break your dream and vision. So that's very important.
Okay. So, ma'am, it has been an absolute pleasure sitting and talking to you about Sychedelic and also Newfany and the journey that has gone through. And I wish I could ask you more questions and understand about this, but the nature of this podcast is a bit short. So I'd like to thank you for giving your time.
Completely my honor.
I really hope that we again get to meet and talk about Sychedelic.
100%. And thank you so much for having us and like being able to share our story of how Sychedelic is and how we were able to get it out. Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you.
My pleasure. Genuinely, thank you.